CHICKEN. Use the code CHICKEN in the shop.
Hey guys, the Chickens here. We are very excited today because we are back on the Boom Beach developer build, and we're bringing you the next update sneak peek, which is coming very early this week. So brace yourselves, get ready. We got a whole new update to go through. So we're going to go over every single change that is coming in this update, guys, and we're going to show you everything that we can as well. So if you haven't already, guys, I do appreciate it if you subscribe to the channel. We're closing in on 40,000 subscribers, which is pretty cool for a Boom Beach channel. Excuse me, if you haven't already, make sure you throw in that code check in the shop. So this is the June update called Summer Skies, okay? So the way we're gonna do this is we're gonna run through the boring stuff first. I'm gonna tell you about all the changes, then we're gonna show you some of the new stuff, okay? So make sure you watch till the end. So user interface fixes and improvements. Increase vertical camera movement in player bases. So this basically just means, like, when you're doing an attack, the camera's going to work better. Fix not showing boost header in Warships user interface if the only active boost is gunboat energy. So if you guys didn't know, a lot of the stuff you guys probably don't know about, but if your only active boost was GBE before this, it wouldn't show up as a bonus for other people because GB was added in after fact. Anyways, not a big deal, just a little thing. So next change, when a resource base is captured from the player, the message no longer erroneously shows VP being lost, as resource bases no longer cause VP gain or loss. We're going to run through these little changes. Fixed the cycle of evil banners not showing on the map in certain cases. So this is the cycle of evil banner, guys. It's the imitation game thing for right now on the dev build. Sometimes they weren't showing up properly, so that is fixed, which is good. Next, we have landing craft unit positioning has been tuned to prevent units falling overboard. So you see right here, we've got all the riflemen loaded up. Not a single one of them is falling off their landing craft, so that's looking good. That's looking clean. Sometimes what would happen is some of the units would like spawn into the water because they didn't fit in the landing craft. So silly little thing, but it's fixed. Next up, they fixed the sculptor, prototype factory, and daily chest rewards, closing their respective parent windows. Now the parent windows should stay open. Example, shop doesn't close when claiming the daily box. So again, just a small UI thing. Most of you probably don't know what that means. Seasonal campaign mission progress message position adjusted so that the UI doesn't get blocked. So if you guys didn't notice, the seasonal campaign sometimes when it showed up, it would get in the way. So that was annoying. Next, we have when using custom skins for units, the correct icons are now used as well. And the biggest change, out of all the UI interface changes, if you've been hanging around this far, I know it's been a little bit dry. Warships leaderboard now shows player position for all players, which is really cool because if you guys compare this to the Mega Crab leaderboard, you can scroll down and you can find your global position on the Mega Crab, even if you've only done like 10 stages. You can now do this for Warships, which is really cool because how many times have you or I been, I've done this lots of times, like, oh man, I'm sure I'm like number, 501 or 502 right now, or it's like, I know I'm doing bad because I'm not in the top 500, but I know I'm right there in the mix. So we're going to have that ability to see how close we are to the other players, which is really helpful. So I'm glad that they made that change. Next up, we're going to be talking about the bunker and the garrison. Okay, so let's start off with the bunker. So the bunker tutorial will no longer trigger in an enemy base in certain situations. Shield generator cables are no longer going into bunkers during attacks if there are units in the bunker. Small stuff, I know, bear with me. Units are ejected from bunkers if their team does not match the bunker. This occurs when the bunker is hacked. So, if you guys didn't know, if you use the remote hack on the bunker, it actually ejects the units from it, which is pretty funny. Units from bunker no longer get resurrected by the attacker, which makes sense. Garrison UI has a new icon for upkeep to differentiate it from gold costs, which is good because that was kind of confusing. There are several small tweaks made to the Garrison UI clearer. Garrison units are now automatically applied after the pop-up is closed, so that's a good change. Resource production logic was changed to fix issues with upkeep handling. Gold is no longer automatically collected when changing garrison units. So that's a good change. Now, we're going to go on to other changes, and I promise you guys we got some actual gameplay here to show you in a second, so just bear with me. Other fixes and improvements: improved shooting position for gunboats, boats with 2 turrets, which the max level gunboat does have. Now fire from either one of them depending on which one is closer. So that's going to help improve your gunboat ability deployment time depending on what you're throwing out. Fixed units getting stuck targeting hidden defenses, aka the hot pot or the boom surprise, if the range is higher than the turret. So yeah, that'll make more sense. It'll be like as if it was an activated defense versus sitting in the ground, which is nice. They fixed a bug that allowed players to get an additional turret in warships if they upgraded a node after a negative node caused their turret count to go down to 0. If you don't know what that means, that was this season, where if you upgraded, I guess this is how it worked. If you maxed out your shock launchers and upgraded them before unlocking the negative node turret, that took one of them away, it actually added another one. So that's not going to happen anymore. Because I know a lot of you commented like, hey, I'm seeing like triple shock launcher bases. How's that possible? It should be, and it's not going to be any longer. Unit versus unit retargeting logic was adjusted. Slow firing units, example, bombardiers, were sometimes skipping every other shot when other units, example, critters from the critter launcher, were between them and their targets. So this is going to make bombardiers stronger against critter launcher critters, which is great. Players are now shown a warning message if leaving a task force would cause intel they have to be collected to be lost. So that's good for task force intel, because I know that's been a hot topic recently. They've made some really terrible changes to task forces and intel, but this is something that's, I don't know, it's at least going to cause a little bit of emotional pain for somebody leaving their task force to be sure that they want to do that. Earned victory points is now applied to the next VP chest if the current chest is full. So that's good. In the seasonal campaign, the reward track to buy the pass point button is now situated under the free rewards. This was changed to clarify that the purchase does not award the actual rewards, only the points. And next change is having the boom pass reduces the cost of switching nodes and warships. This affects both the cost and the cost cap. Whoa! Having the boom pass reduce the cost of switching node and warships. Yo, that's actually a huge change. That's a huge change. I'm super excited about that. That's reason to buy the boom pass in and of itself. If you guys are, diehard warships fanatics, if you watch this channel, I'm sure you probably are. That's huge, dude. That's huge. So, you guys have been patient. You stuck with me through all the little bug fixes and UI stuff. Now we get to show you some cool stuff, which some of you probably won't like. Mystical Monument now has a leaderboard. Yes, that is right. There is a leaderboard for the Mystical Monument. So whoever upgrades the Mystical Monument to max first gets to be placed on this leaderboard. That's what it's going to default to. If everybody has a 300 Mystical Monument, it goes to who did it first. So obviously, there's going to be more Mystical Monument levels coming. They're not coming within this update, but be on the lookout for it, because that is coming. Ties are resolved by whichever player got to level first. Path of Glory. This is another new thing. So, Path of Glory is an informational feature that indicates which stage of a player's journey various features are unlocked. It lists buildings, troops, and game features. I don't have this on mine because the dev build is maxed out. But it's going to show up under the news tab. You can see right there. And it's basically going to show you just exactly what it said. So Path of Glory. It's a new thing. And it's cool. Those things are helpful. I like the one that they have in Clash of Clans. I suggested that years ago that they bring it to Boom Beach, because it's like, I got so many things to upgrade here for a low-level player. I want to click on something and just, tell me what's the most expensive, or what's the, what I have available to upgrade kind of thing. So I think that's nice. Invasion logic changes. So these are going to be changes to your map in terms of invaded PvP. Okay, so let's start off with some of the basics. So logic for determining when an invasion on the archipelago map occurs have been adjusted. So first off, the Blackguard PvP. So the Blackguard is basically your NPC bases, your resource bases, basically things like that. So Blackguard PvE and Mercenary PvP invasions are now on separate timers and are no longer random. These timers are visible in the radar info screen, and the tooltips for these timers will give additional information. So if we go over to the radar, which is right here, it's going to tell us exactly when the next Blackguard invasion is going to be, and how many regions we have to explore, and Mercenary. So, yeah, Mercenary, I believe, is a PvP. I think that's how that works. Mercenary is PvP, and then Blackguard is going to be NPC. So I think that's how that works. So just leading off of that, there is a minimum number of islands that need to be liberated for the timer to start. This number depends on the total number of islands discovered. These numbers are separate for Blackguard and Mercenary invasions. The more islands beyond the required amount of islands are liberated, the shorter the time to next invasion. If all islands are liberated, the timer uses the base time. The timer is recalculated when liberated or total island count changes. The timers still have the current 14-hour inactivity cutoff. If the player is not logged in for 14 hours, the timers pause. The timers resume when the player has logged in. So, I know it's kind of in the weeds on some of this little stuff that doesn't really matter, but the thing I'm most excited about is the Mystical Monument leaderboard, and as well the changes to bombardiers and warships, and the fact that we can see, exactly where we are on the global leaderboard and warships at any given time. I think that's really cool. The rest of the stuff, I just wanted to give you the info. It's kind of, some of it was nothing, some of it you guys will care about, some of you guys will or you won't, but I wanted to provide you that info anyways, because that is the chicken's job here to do that. So yeah, there you go. So you guys let me know down below in the comments what you're excited for, what you're not excited for, what you think is a good change, what you think is a bad change, and everything else in between. Like I said, we are on the Boom Beach developer build, so I do hope you guys enjoy this update. It's coming. It's kind of a small one. It's not huge. It's not crazy, but there are some, significant changes that are going to impact our everyday gameplay. So hope you guys enjoy. Let me know what you think down below in the comments. And as always, guys, thank you so much for watching. That is going to wrap up the video today. Make sure to leave a like if you found it interesting, entertaining, or informative. Catch you next one, guys. Check it out. Back.